When the Evermore Park reopened after decades of abandonment, its decrepit attractions emanated a sinister aura. The lights flickered frantically while a thin mist crept along the ground, enveloping the place in an unsettling atmosphere. Local residents avoided the park, but Mystery Inc., led by Fred, decided to investigate the rumors about the Shadow Clown. Daphne, always elegant and fearless, closely followed Fred, exploring the enigmatic environment. Scooby and Shaggy hesitated to enter, but the smell of cotton candy ultimately convinced them. Velma, focused, began analyzing the tickets they had purchased and found suspicious engravings that could be clues. Fred and Daphne decided to head toward the carousel, which turned slowly but with a disordered and menacing rhythm. The mechanical sound resembled a distant scream, echoing through the empty park. Meanwhile, Velma discovered that the codes on the tickets contained enigmatic instructions that pointed directly to the House of Mirrors. Scooby and Shaggy, always hungry, were distracted by an abandoned popcorn cart. However, what seemed like a moment of relief turned into panic when a ghostly reflection appeared in a nearby mirror, causing them both to scream in unison and run away. Inside the House of Mirrors, Scooby and Shaggy stumbled into a room where a mirror reflected a grotesque figure with a wide smile and glowing eyes. The image was terrifying, as if it were alive. Meanwhile, Fred found an abandoned storeroom filled with rusty gears and old documents. Daphne, investigating nearby, found a seemingly lost notebook belonging to a former park employee. Velma, armed with a tablet, deciphered the remaining enigmas in the tickets, which seemed to lead everyone to the climax of the mystery. Fred led the group to the Ferris wheel, which spun slowly as if moved by an invisible force. Daphne found a still active security camera capturing intermittent images from inside the park. Velma, while examining the notebook, uncovered clues about an old incident involving a mysterious accident that had marked the park decades ago. Scooby and Shaggy, still fleeing the Shadow Clown, stumbled upon a hidden corridor that led them to a secret hideout beneath the Ferris wheel structure. In the hideout, Scooby and Shaggy found clown costumes scattered across the floor, along with newspaper clippings detailing the controversial dismissal of an employee years ago. The atmosphere was somber, but the clues were adding up. Fred, now more determined, led everyone to the park's main hall, where Daphne activated a projector found among the debris. The device began to display a disturbing story, revealing details of a meticulously planned revenge. Velma, finishing her analysis of the codes, confirmed that everything was part of an elaborate plan to scare and manipulate visitors. In the main hall, strobe lights began to flash uncontrollably, creating an atmosphere of tension. At the center of the hall, the silhouette of the Shadow Clown appeared, threatening and enigmatic. Fred, courageous, confronted the figure directly, but as he approached, he realized it was a holographic projection. Daphne found a control panel hidden behind a false wall, while Velma followed the system's wires, which led to a secret basement. Scooby and Shaggy, as clumsy as ever, fell into a pile of cushions that concealed the entrance to the basement. In the basement, the group uncovered the culprit behind the Shadow Clown, Walter Grimm's, a former park employee seeking revenge for being humiliatingly fired. Fred unmasked him in front of everyone, while Daphne disconnected the projection systems to ensure the hologram could no longer be used. Velma revealed the entire plot, explaining how Walter had used cutting-edge technology to scare visitors and disguise his true intentions. Scooby and Shaggy, still nervous, finally relaxed upon realizing that the clown was just a human. With the mystery solved, the team reflected on the events as they left Evermore Park. Velma displayed the collected evidence, which would be handed over to authorities to hold Walter accountable for his actions. Fred reaffirmed the importance of facing fears with courage and determination, while Daphne, with a confident smile, joked about needing a break after such an intense adventure. Scooby and Shaggy, as always, were more interested in enjoying the feast awaiting them at the end of the day. In the distance, as the team left Evermore, the park's lights turned off one by one, plunging the location into an almost sepulchral silence. The atmosphere returned to being unsettling, but now without the weight of the threat. Velma, still intrigued, cast one last glance back, pondering the secrets the park might still hold. Scooby, relieved, hugged Shaggy, happy to be safe and far from the Shadow Clown. The return to the Mystery Machine brought a temporary peace. Fred took the opportunity to review the case reports, while Velma carefully organized the evidence into digital files. Daphne, looking out the window, commented on the tranquility of the road ahead and the beauty of the night landscape. Scooby and Shaggy, oblivious to everything, were busy devouring a giant sandwich as usual. The camaraderie of the group seemed stronger than ever after facing another challenge together. Days later, the team received news of the park's permanent closure. Fred commented that it was the best decision to avoid future problems, while Daphne expressed curiosity about what would be done with the location. Velma, ever practical, suggested they keep an eye out for other mysteries that might arise. Scooby and Shaggy, for their part, just hoped the next case would involve fewer scares and more food, eliciting laughter from everyone. The group resumed their routine of travels, always alert to new enigmas to solve. Each member carried the lessons learned at Evermore Park, adding to the accumulated experience from their various adventures. Fred continued to lead with firmness. Daphne stood out for her creativity, Velma for her sharp intellect, and Scooby and Shaggy for their unwavering loyalty. The friendship that united them was the true driving force behind their achievements and kept them determined to move forward. On a quiet night, during a camping break, Fred shared his reflections on the challenges faced in their most recent case. Daphne added that each solved mystery brought a unique feeling of satisfaction and accomplishment. Velma suggested they start documenting their adventures in a book, while Scooby and Shaggy, ever practical, suggested including recipes, eliciting general laughter from the group. It was a moment of relaxation that reaffirmed the bonds between them. However, a distant shadow seemed to observe the group. The silence of the night was broken by an unexpected noise coming from the nearby forest. Fred, ever alert, suggested investigating, while Velma quickly grabbed her flashlight. Daphne, with a cautious look, grabbed her bag to prepare for whatever it might be. Scooby and Shaggy tried to hide, but the group's curiosity and sense of adventure led them toward the mysterious sound, ready to face yet another challenge. As they approached the source of the noise, they discovered it was just the wind moving a rusty sign. A collective sigh of relief swept over them, but they knew new challenges were always lurking. Fred confidently declared that as long as they were together, nothing would be impossible. Daphne smiled, Velma agreed, and Scooby and Shaggy celebrated with a Scooby-Doo, wrapping up another exciting story of friendship, courage, and mystery.